Okay, everybody has been wondering what I think about the Bungie Sony deal, not only because I've been labeled an Xbox fanboy, but because you might not know this, but I did a Destiny show for 7 years. I believe it was almost 7 years. Um this deal is huge. Not only has Sony purchased Bungie, but Bungie is going to continue releasing games even on rival consoles, which is a interesting move that has a lot of people wondering what's going on. I'm not going to break down the news for you today. There's so much that I just want to read and sort of react to live, and then I can do more analysis throughout the week. So let's start getting into it right now. This might be a longer form video. I'll try and time code it. So let's get into everything that has happened today because it is a lot. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to know when they go live. I love making them for you, and I love reading your comments. Thank you so much to everybody who has watched. So real quick, I said in the Activision Blizzard video that I do think the industry is going to be resetting. And as Jim Ryan, head of Sony, has said, expect more acquisitions to be coming down the line. This isn't over. Both of these companies are going to continue acquiring other companies, as I feel like both are sort of solidifying their stance in the industry going forward. Now, what's really, really interesting about this deal, and we're going to get into reading and everything in just a little bit, is that Sony seems open to the idea about breaking down walls and playing a little bit nicer with everybody, which is something I have wanted to see them do for years. They've self-admitted that they're tired of losing sales to PC users who want to play their games. They're limited. If they were to release just on the PlayStation 5, they're limiting themselves to 20 million users, and they recognize that that's to their own deficit, right? Maybe that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. They want to expand their horizons, and this Bungie Sony deal is a very clear turning point for Sony, where they're saying we're going to play a little bit differently from now on. There's the MLB The Show news today, where they announced that it's going to launch on everything, including Nintendo Switch. There's some news updates from Bungie. Phil Spencer and Herman Hulst are playing nice on Twitter now. It's such a wonderful change to see from Sony, and just it's nice to see the industry sort of coming together. Now, a lot of people are worried about all these acquisitions and companies joining together. And a lot of people point out in the video where I referenced that Sony was acquiring companies. I never said that was bad. I actually think that's genius on Sony's part. And they've done a really, really good job about spending less money and being more precise with their purchases. I also don't fault Xbox for purchasing Activision Blizzard. I think this is like a tremendously exciting time in the industry, because I truly believe that we are at a reset point where all of these companies are going to sort of reconsolidate, and we're going to have new third-party developers spring up. One company that I highly doubt is going to be eaten up by anybody basically is Devolver Digital, for example. That's this massive third-party publisher that publishes on all platforms, and there's a lot of great games coming from them right now. Let's get into reading this story. We'll start with the GamesIndustry.biz article. I have the Bungie post up. I have the PlayStation blog post up just to get our feet wet. But let's go right into it right now. So I'm going to be reading these. And I highlighted some of this stuff, and I'm like, there's just so many good things to dive into just in this one article. Let's just read it and talk about it as we go. So PlayStation Bungie deal is about multi-platform live service games. Sony Interactive Entertainment head Jim Ryan says we should expect more acquisitions. As I predicted in the Activision Blizzard video, I absolutely thought that this was going to continue. Not just with Microsoft, but with everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see somebody like Amazon or Google or Facebook try and get it on the action and maybe grab a company or two for themselves right now. But I do think there is going to be a consolidation of the big companies right now. We'll see. Continuing, PlayStation's acquisition of Bungie may not result in exclusive PS5 games, but it will allow the platform holder to significant significantly accelerate its ability to make online live service games across different platforms. Now, this is key. A lot of people are like, I saw like some of the regular people like, oh, all the Xbox people must be crying, and they tagged me and stuff in it. And I'm like, you know, all the Bungie games are still going to come out on everything, right? And here's actually what the interview says. In an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan says that Destiny 2 and future Bungie games will continue to be published on other platforms, including rival consoles. Now, that is a very interesting deal when you're paying billions. I think it was 6.8 billion. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but it was in the billions of dollars for this company. As Sony is saying, yeah, go ahead, release wherever you want. They're planning something a little bit bigger, a little more grandiose in scope with Bungie, and also allowing them to sort of retain their strategies and dreams for what they wanted to accomplish. I have to imagine, and I have all these tweets up. I think this one from Paul really highlights what I'm thinking is going on here. You know what else Sony owns? Sony Pictures and Sony Television. And the thing is, I totally agree with Paul. I know I know Bungie has been looking for a partner to produce more products around the Destiny universe. And if they're going to start making a Destiny anime or a Destiny television show of some sort, Destiny movies, whatever their next IP turns out to be, if that's somehow linked together with, you know, other ideas, that could potentially be another way that they can further bolster their catalog of games. The deal makes a lot of sense for me. I think it's an incredibly smart purchase by Sony on this part for sure. I did hear, but like it's unsubstantiated, just from like Jez and Jeff Grubb said that they had tweeted that Xbox and Bungie were in talks, but nothing ever came of them. Not sure what that is alluding to, but I will have to ask them and follow up if that's just like, is that a joke? Like what's going on with that? Continuing, the advantages Bungie offers Sony is in its ability to make huge multi-platform live service online games, which is something the wider organization is easier to learn from. So the first thing to say unequivocally is that Bungie will stay an independent multi-platform studio and publisher, Pete Parsons, CEO, and I've spoken about many things over the recent months, and this was one of the first and actually easiest and most straightforward conclusions we reached together. Everybody wants the extremely large Destiny 2 community, whatever platform they're on, to be able to continue to enjoy their Destiny 2 experiences. And that approach will apply to future Bungie releases. That is unequivocal. Sony is done playing the console war game, in my opinion. This is them just saying, look, we bought Bungie. We're tired of locking ourselves to a box. We saw what happened with MLB The Show. And when we play nice with other platforms, we all win as gamers. And it's so refreshing and smart. And it's just like, it's like they finally see the light, right? And I'm so happy about this, actually, because Bungie gets to continue to operate and fulfill their goals and dreams that they've had as a company. I actually sat down with Pete Parsons for IGN and talked to him. I was one of the very few outlets that got to actually interview him. And you can go find that on IGN.com right now. And he was very clear about wanting to create a place where people can come and do the best work that they possibly can do. And it sounds like that is still intact. And it sounds like Jim Ryan is going to empower them to continue to do basically whatever they want, release on whatever platform they want. And no, we'll get to the Bungie posts in a little bit, but no, it doesn't mean that there's going to be exclusives and such. Bungie will operate autonomously within the Sony Interactive Entertainment organization, and they will continue to publish on other platforms. We get the importance of this. We have grown studios organically, but we've also made a number of acquisitions over the years, whether it is Naughty Dog, Guerrilla Games, Sucker Punch Productions, and most recently, Insomniac. We understand how important it is to give these great organizations the space and independence whilst bolstering with that with great support when and where that's needed. And that's really, really interesting. This is the first time Sony has acquired a company and basically said, sorry for the squeaky, yes, we're acquiring this company, but guess what? They can still release on Xbox. We don't care. We're just going to support them. It's crazy to me. Now, I don't know if this is a strategy due to the Activision Blizzard thing, but this is, I mean, it's great for me and it's great for every other gamer out there, right? And with Xbox basically saying that it seems like they're going to be doing the same thing, there is a larger strategy at play here for the entirety of the games industry. And I think it's something that more people should take note of as opposed to saying, oh, look, Sony dropped this mega bomb. Yeah, but they're playing the game differently than anybody has before. And it's really exciting, actually, to me anyway. A lot of people are scared. I'm excited. I feel like this is looking forward towards the future. Yes, we are going to see a lot of consolidation in the next few years, but eventually what that's going to mean is that there are going to be places for new companies to spring up and create new third-party studios. People like Devolver is the example that I look at right away and I say, here's a company that allows all these indie games to really, really shine and get their moment in the spotlight. Like my friend Pedro ended up coming out on a whole bunch of stuff. It was a really, really popular, really, really fun game. They have, I want to say it's 310 to Yuma, but I feel like that's not the right game that I'm thinking of. But it's like a side scroller game and it takes place in Japan. Really, really excited about that. And more companies like that are now going to have an opportunity to spring up over the years. And of course, there's all the independent developers that are going to be able to continue to create just unique creative ideas. Like OMNO was the first one that popped in my mind that I played last year. Wasn't a perfect game, but somebody was allowed to attempt something unique and release it on the Xbox platform. There's also Tunic coming this year that was created by like one person. And more ideas like that are going to be able to happen and be filtered through various companies like Devolver Digital. I'm excited about this. Anyway, he continues, Pete and I have spent a lot of time talking and we're struck by how similarly we see the world and just how complementary our two organizations are. We're like two pieces of jigsaw that can slot together. They make massive immersive games that have no end, whereas PlayStation's strength, as you know, is in the single-player narrative-rich stories. Our studios make those games, and they are some of the best games you'll find anywhere. That is absolutely true. They're absolutely correct. But some people have used that as a criticism towards Sony, that they only make walking simulators, that they only make these narrative-driven games, but they're phenomenal, right? So this is Sony further diversifying their investments in gaming, and that's great news, right? So it means you hammer Sony for something like having walking simulators, and they're like, okay, we bought Bungie. Now what? You get quiet really quick, right? They are addressing these criticisms. Xbox was hammered so hard for so long, and now they've snapped back and they've bought Activision. They purchased Bethesda. They're releasing games. They have a really, really great ecosystem. And Sony is now in 2022, it really, really feels like they're hitting reset and they're just coming at things from the perfect angle. I already knew 2022 would be an exciting year, but I'm actually really, really excited about this Bungie acquisition by Sony. Continuing. I've been on record talking about increasing the size of the PlayStation community and expanding beyond our historic console heartland. So if you are a console warrior out there, Sony is saying that idea is old. We recognize that and we are moving beyond that. So buckle up, because if if your whole identity is about a box, the whole industry is about to shake up right now. Sony is committed to it. Xbox has been committed to it for years, and everybody is moving on from that idea. This is a content war, not a console war. People want to battle for your time. That's what it's about now. And they don't care what screen you play on or what box you play on. I've been on the, so he says, This can take many forms, and definitely one of the main ones is the ability for the wonderful games that we've been making over the past 25 years to be enjoyed in different places and played in different ways. We are starting to go multi-platform. You've seen that referencing their PC releases. We have an aggressive roadmap with live services, probably referencing Spartacus. And the opportunity to work with and particularly learn from the brilliant and talented people from Bungie, this is going to considerably accelerate the journey we find ourselves on. I almost feel like he's not talking about Sony there. I feel like he's talking about the industry. And just like, it's great to read a Jim Ryan interview where there's not like some weird thing in there that everybody latches onto. It all just sort of makes sense. Philosophically, this isn't about pulling things into the PlayStation world. This is about building huge and wonderful new worlds together. So I have to wonder if eventually they create something totally new, like we're talking 7 years down the line, that is in the PlayStation ecosystem as they move away from console, or if they're just going to let it go wherever they want, because at the end of the day, Sony would be the one that profits, right? Anyway, continuing. Well, on the Bungie side, Pete Parsons tells GamesIndustry.biz that Sony offers the ability to accelerate its own plans, which includes the prospect of taking its IP to new entertainment mediums such as TV and film. Now, this is the one avenue where everybody kind of wondering, like, well, how are you going to manage to pull that off? They said this 2-3 years ago that Bungie wanted to do that, make movies, make television. And now I'm already 16 minutes into the video. Geez. And now this is how they're going to do it with the Sony partnership. Back in 2016, we set out a vision for ourselves to create worlds and inspire friendships. We wanted to become one of the world's great entertainment companies. And more than that, become a center of creative and technical excellence so that no matter who you are, where you're from, how you identify, you can feel like you can come to Bungie and do your best work. Remember? That's what I said. That's from the interview. Yeah. Even though we've been working together since 2013 with Destiny 1, it was remarkable how close Sony and our visions were. You can't help but look at Sony's accomplishments, not just as a great platform and having easily some of the best development teams in the entire world, but also one of the greatest entertainment companies in the world. We saw this great opportunity to build not just Destiny, we're working on more than Destiny. These great interactive experiences, which we think we're good at, but also being able to explore these worlds even more, referencing television and movies. But it's not all about expanding its brands to other mediums. Sony have been so gracious over the last decade to give us early insights into their platforms and technologies and games. The ability to work with thought leaders within the Sony network is incredible. We are already friends with a lot of them. If you think of the list of giants who live within the Sony Interactive Entertainment Company, it's incredible. And I also think we have something to offer. Jim Ryan adds, the way people play games has changed a lot over the last few years. Absolutely. We have created some wonderful properties over the course of the last 25 years with characters that people love and resonate the world over. Offering the opportunity to enjoy these experiences in a completely different way is something that we are very excited about. I can't go into details today, but we have a really amazing roadmap on how to do that. I would back us to do live service games ourselves, but when you have the potential to have a partner like Bungie who has been there, done it all before, learned the lessons, and have got this wonderful, brilliant team who is there and have the potential to help us, we think we can take something that would have taken a certain number of years and significantly decrease the time it will take to get it right. So they're talking about launching something new later on across multiple platforms. Now, Destiny. If you've played Destiny lately, Destiny has adapted a seasonal model where they have a really, really great story arc. One of the things I do every season is I collect every single piece of dialogue from a season and I post it in these montages. That's how much I enjoy it, as does a number of players. So Jim Ryan seems like he's indicating that they want them to make something for Sony similar to Destiny further down the line. Now, Bungie, known for making Halo, known for making Destiny, both massively successful games. Yes, there are problems with Destiny, but to deny its success is just insanity. Look at how well it's doing on Steam charts even today. I bet you, even though nothing is happening in that game, it is in the top 10, at least top 25. Let's do it live. Steamcharts.com. I'm not going to look. I bet it's number 7. It is number 10. I was close. So that's top games by current players. It is 10:22 p.m. in the evening when I'm recording this video, right? That's top games by current players right now in the middle of the night. So they're sitting there amongst other giants like Apex Legends, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and that's just one of their platforms, PC. So Bungie's doing just fine. Bungie's doing great work. PlayStation has been vocal of its position on workplace issues that have blighted the games industry in recent years. In an article published by IGN late last year, 26 Bungie employees reported incidents of sexism, racism, abusive bosses, and systemic discrimination at the company. Bungie apologized and detailed measures it had been taking to address the issues, including the dismissal of abusive leaders. Nevertheless, was this a point of concern during the acquisition? This is an area that Sony takes incredibly seriously, Ryan stated. We hold ourselves to extremely high standards throughout the organization and with the businesses that we partner. This is something that I have been incredibly sensitive to right from the start of the conversations, and I have been nothing but impressed, and I have nothing but the highest praise for the way Bungie organizes and conducts itself. There are a number of areas that Sony can learn from Bungie. Philanthropy is a cornerstone value, and I think that speaks to everything. Parsons adds, we've been incredibly transparent with each other with what we're doing and the challenges we face. We are a 30-year-old company, and we're continuing to learn, build, and grow. I am extremely proud of the work that we are doing to create a thriving, inclusive environment for people, and we're going to continue to do that. We will build, learn, and grow, and I think we have a lot to learn from Sony. Oh, the 3.6. I had the number switched, so it's 3.6. The $3.6 billion deal is the latest in a string of multi-billion-dollar acquisitions that have happened in games this month alone, following the Take-Two's proposed buyout of Zynga and the news that Microsoft is acquiring Activision Blizzard. However, Ryan says that the Bungie acquisition isn't a response to those deals. So real quick, these deals don't happen overnight. So I saw a lot of people saying, Sony answers back. This has been in the background for 5 months. I jokingly posted, just don't take anything I post on Twitter seriously. I would say 99% of the times I am just joking around because I gave up on Twitter. So I just said, screw it. Right. So anyway, Jim Ryan here is probably going to talk about how this took place over 5 months. These conversations have been a number of months in gestation and certainly predate the activity that we have seen this year. From our perspective, this is really doing what we feel is right for PlayStation and what we feel is the right thing to do to drive PlayStation to places we've never been before. Man, Jim Ryan it's like he finally got it. I've seen all these quotes floating around and I'm just like, now you're talking the talk. All right. This is the Sony that I can back. I'm actually really into a lot of the messaging that he has. Can they follow through into the future? Time will tell. Parson adds, the talent across the board from development to publishing. We have built a great business and been able to build up our bench of talent. We were good. We had and continue to have the same strong, solid vision. What happened out of these conversations, though, is we felt like, wow, here's a group of people who really understand us and our vision and are almost two sides of the same coin. Could this partnership accelerate that vision? Also, we do a significant amount of philanthropy. Bungie has this whole foundation dedicated to raising money. So it's just a really, really incredible cause. Basically, anything you buy on their store, a portion of that goes to the Bungie Foundation, and that goes to like sick kids and stuff. It's one of their best things. How can we continue to do good for those in need? And what is exciting for us is that Sony understood not just that desire and need to be independent and to keep that lightning in a bottle, but they believe in our vision and the way we're focused on our vision. Those aren't just words, man. They really do. This had nothing to do with industry consolidation. This had everything to do with a shared vision and how we could do things better together. But there is going to be further. It's funny because at the beginning, this isn't about industry consolidation, but at the very beginning of the interview, they said, oh yeah, we're totally going to acquire more companies. Anyway, I'm glad that it's a good partnership for both of them though. The deal is a significant buy from PlayStation. Sony is not a small organization, but it doesn't have pockets as deep as some of its competitors. Nevertheless, Ryan says the firm is not done in that area. We should absolutely expect more, he concludes. We are by no means done with PlayStation. We have a long ways to go. I will personally be spending a lot of my time with Pete and the team at Bungie, helping make sure that everything beds down right and that autonomy means autonomy. But elsewhere in the organization, we have many more moves to make. Dun, dun, dun. So just an incredibly exciting news day. I want to show one of the interesting images that I saw. Some of the reactions I saw. Here's one from Hunter who basically said, so Xbox owns the PlayStation mascots Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and Sony owns the creator of Halo, literally the company that put Xbox on the map, and it's January. I thought this was actually a pretty funny tweet from Hunter. One of the better reactions, Hunter. GG. It is really, really funny just how the whole consolidation is shaking out, isn't it? And then, Hunter also tweeted, we are starting to go multi-platform. You've seen that. We have an aggressive roadmap with live services. There's more coming from Sony. Don't sleep on them anytime soon. Some analysts here, Andy Robinson, Bungie says that Destiny 2 and future games in development will remain multi-platform. We want the worlds we are creating to extend to anywhere people play games. This to me seems like a big shift. And the reason the monitor is darker is because the Twitter theme is dark. And it's really, really interesting. Now, I loved this picture from Herman Hulst. Last year, a few people who are passionate about games sat down to discuss our vision of the future and how we might work together to build that vision. Today, we took a major step towards that. I can't wait. And it's just the team hanging out together, talking about where they're going to go. I believe this is Jason Jones. I think this is Pete Parsons. Obviously, that's Jim Ryan. That's Herman Hulst. I don't recognize these two, but I'm sure there's somebody that I should probably know off the top of my head. But it's great to see them all meeting in this building, sort of trying to figure all this stuff out and figure out how this collaboration is going to work in the future. I'm very, very happy about all that. Really, really cool stuff. And then you saw, oh my God. People don't know that I'm joking on Twitter. And then Herman Hulst says, I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome Bungie to the PlayStation family. Bungie create community-driven games with outstanding technology that are enormous fun to play. And I know that everyone at PlayStation Studios will be excited about what we can share and learn together. And then Phil Spencer actually said, congrats to the talented team, responding to the Bungie post, which I'm going to read next. I just kind of wanted to read some of these responses quick. Congrats to the talented team at Bungie. Great testament to your creativity, and congrats to PlayStation, Herman Hulst, on adding a talented team to your studio's team. Herman Hulst said, thanks, Phil. Exciting times to be a gamer. I love seeing this interaction. It's such a difference from that stoic, weirdly stonewalling response that some Sony spokesperson gave. I believe it was one of the outlets. That was the only thing weird about the Activision Blizzard thing, was the strange short response that they had. That was the only thing I never understood. So to see this interaction, that's how it should have gone, right? But it was definitely odd to see something different. Here's the tweet from Paul. This is a really, really unique deal. I'm curious where Sony finds their $3.6 billion worth without exclusivity, but if it means more resources and content for Destiny and other IPs, I mean, good. And by the way, Bungie outlines that basically they're not going to do anything until after Lightfall. So you're talking what, 2023, 2024 before anything even remotely changes with Destiny franchise. And here's the image. It says one community, multi-platform. Destiny 2 will stay on all current platforms and expand to new platforms. What new platforms could they be talking about? That's what I'm really curious about. Are they talking about like Switch? Are they talking about the cloud? What new platforms are they referencing? I'm going to have to read the blog post here in a second. Self-published, creatively independent. Bungie maintains full creative control and publishing independence on the Destiny universe. Same game everywhere. Every player should have an amazing Destiny experience no matter where you choose to play. And just thinking, expand to new platforms. I wonder if they're referencing something that they have cooking up on the PlayStation side of things, because we still don't know what is going on there. Let's see here. Rebellion Doubles also talks about it. Sort of a reaction to this sale from Daniel Ahmad. The total value publicly disclosed of all video game related details in 2021 was already 85 billion, according to Drake Star Partners. The value of Microsoft, Activision, Take-Two, Zynga, Sony, Bungie, all these things that have happened in January is 85 billion. So there's already been $85 billion in spending, accounting for the entirety of what happened in 2021 already this year. That's no small feat, to say the least. Okay, so we have read the GamesIndustry.biz article. I am going to move on to the Bungie post now, so that we can sort of talk about the PlayStation blog post and the Bungie post. I think I'm just going to post this as one of those things that go live at midnight, and that'll be my video for tomorrow. As you know, I do a video a day, but this is one that I've always loved Bungie, right? Bungie is part of the reason I started making video game related content. Not a lot of people know that about me. So if this was the best deal for them, I am very happy for them. I'm also a huge Destiny fan. And the fact that there's no exclusivity involved, I'm just like, this is great. And the further good news is that it seems like Sony is finally realizing that locking things to a console and limiting how many people can experience their games is just not the right move. And they're adjusting their strategy going forward. I like everything about this announcement so far. So here's the Bungie post. Bungie has limitless potential to unite friends around the world. We have found a partner in PlayStation that shares our dream and is committed to accelerating our creative vision of building generation-spanning entertainment. Our journey begins today. Here's the Bungie post. Bungie joins Sony Interactive Entertainment. Bungie joins, SIE. We believe games have limitless potential, and that to do anything worthwhile in entertainment, we must bet big on our vision, on our studio, and on our incredible team of trusted creators who build unforgettable worlds that truly matter to people. In SIE, we have found a partner who unconditionally supports us in all we are and who wants to accelerate our vision to create generation-spanning entertainment, all while preserving the creative independence that beats in Bungie's heart. Like us, SIE believes that game worlds are only the beginning of what our IPs can become. Together, we share a dream of creating and fostering iconic franchises that unite friends around the world, families across generations, and fans across multiple platforms and entertainment mediums. Today, Bungie begins our journey to become a global multimedia entertainment company. That was their goal in 2016. They wanted to do that, and this is part of how they're going to do that. Creative freedom. Since taking flight in 1991, Bungie has always charted the future with our own star map, a path that is driven by our people and for our community. We are continuing that journey with new worlds in development, and we can't wait to share them with you. With SIE, the potential for our universes is unlimited. Our future games will take bold steps into unexplored spaces for Bungie, continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, and will always be built on a foundation of creating meaningful, lifelong friendships and memories. We remain in charge of our destiny. We will continue to independently publish and creatively develop our games. We will continue to drive one unified Bungie community. Our games will continue to be where our community is, wherever they choose to play. With SIE's support, the most immediate change you will see is an acceleration in hiring talent across the entire studio to support our ambitious vision. If this speaks to you and you want to help us put a dent in the universe, we are hiring across all disciplines for Destiny 2 for all new worlds beyond. Let's see what jobs they have. They have a whole bunch. Art director, rigging. That's how you animate your characters. No open roles for audio. They have a killer audio team already. They have business operations for recruiting, senior, whatever that is, senior strategic finance manager. They have engineering. Wow, this is a lot of open roles, and this is just like day one of them announcing. So testing, publishing and marketing, anything about television in there, marketing manager for Destiny, production director, etc., etc. So nothing jumps out at me that's not Destiny related or new IP related, but I'm sure somebody will find that and make a video about it. 3 decades and counting. What makes our worlds come to life is our community and our people in the studio. Our people are the soul of Bungie, empowered by our people. We have pushed the boundaries. The lighting was driving me crazy. Boundaries of what we thought was possible and transformed who we are as a company. Over the past 30 years, the inviting worlds we built have turned into thriving communities like Destiny, and that community is the true magic. These communities have taken Bungie beyond games. They have forged lifelong bonds and humbled us with the real meaningful good they drive within us and the world. More than anything, SIE understands that our people and our community are both the priority and the heart of our success, and are willing to stand alongside us as we continue to use our platform to drive action towards a more welcoming and equitable world. Our goal is to build a place where the world's most creative and talented people can come to do their best work, no matter who they are, where they are from, or how they identify. That's the real dent in the universe we want to make, the one we want to last beyond us. Be a part of this future with us. See you Starside. So I'll be honest, really positive messaging. Most of it is just them covering off on a lot of the stuff I already read. And it does seem like they are continuing to try and tell people, hey, come work for us. So it is a little bit of a recruitment email, but with a positive messaging. So I'll give them that for sure. And then on the PlayStation blog side, it says Bungie is joining PlayStation. Legendary developer, I'll make it a little smaller. Legendary developer to join PlayStation as independent multi-platform studio and publisher. So they're part of Sony, but they're all doing their own thing, right? And I'll make it. There's no like happy medium. So today I am happy to announce Bungie will be joining the PlayStation family. First off, I want to be very clear to the community that Bungie will remain an independent and multi-platform studio and publisher. As such, we believe it makes sense for it to sit alongside the PlayStation Studios organization, and we are incredibly excited about the opportunities for synergies and collaboration between these two world-class groups. I have spent a lot of time with Pete Parsons, Jason Jones, and the Bungie management team to develop the right relationships. They will be fully backed and supported by Sony Interactive Entertainment and enabled to do what they do best: build incredible worlds that captivate millions of people. Bungie's world-class expertise in multi-platform development and live game services will help us deliver on our vision of expanding PlayStation to hundreds of millions of gamers. PlayStation is a great innovator and has developed incredible proprietary tools that will help PlayStation Studios achieve new heights under Herman Hulst's leadership. Here are a few words from Herman about this exciting acquisition and what it means for gamers. I am absolutely thrilled to announce a new partnership. A new member will be joining the PlayStation family. I've been a fan of Bungie for many years. I have admired and enjoyed the games that they create and have great respect for their skill in building worlds that gamers want to explore again and again. Bungie makes games with outstanding technology that are enormously fun to play. They also have unmatched dedication to the communities that play their games, and everyone at PlayStation and PlayStation Studios will be excited about what we can share and learn from them. I've spent a great deal of time with the senior team at Bungie, and it is clear their experience and skills are highly complementary to our own. We will be ready to welcome and support Bungie as they continue to grow, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for this incredible team. And then here's a few words from Pete Parsons. We believe games have limitless potential and that to do anything worthwhile in entertainment, we must bet big on our vision, our studio, and our incredible team of trusted creators. I feel like this is the same message from the blog that I just read. Yeah. We're in charge of our destiny, 3 decades and counting. That's the same thing I just read, right? With Sony support, the most immediate change you will see is an acceleration in hiring. Yep. 3 decades and counting. What makes our worlds come to life is our community and our people in the studio who are our people are the soul of Bungie. Empowered by our people, we have pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible and transformed who we are as a company. Over the past 30 years, the inviting worlds we built have turned into thriving. Oh, yeah. Okay. I read this. And then, yeah. Okay. So that's what Pete said. So largely just a recap of everything that we've read so far. So we've already covered off on the GamesIndustry.biz article, a really, really big interview. We covered off on the PlayStation blog post. By the way, Wednesday, Gran Turismo 7 stream. I've actually been pretty interested in seeing how well that game does. And then I had a few tweets left over. Let's see what I got here. So just a few notes. Last one. Here's a tweet from Benji Sales who says, this is really weird. Everything coming out of PlayStation and Bungie right now is saying Bungie will stay multi-platform, including future games in development. So that should be their new IP. It's definitely a different strategy. I think Sony is done releasing games that limit how many sales they can have. I think they see potential in releasing on PC. Does that mean they're going to start to do day and date? Who knows? But I think Sony is finally going to start changing their strategies, and I'm very, very excited about that. Now, MLB The Show, it's going to launch day one on Game Pass for Xbox consoles and cloud, but Shuhei also said we are all friends when we play baseball together. Announcing, I don't know how to say that name, Shohei Ohtani, I don't know baseball people, as the cover athlete for MLB The Show 2022. Arriving April 5th, that's my birthday, on PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. Coming to everything. Definitely a new tone. Very, very exciting stuff. That is everything that was me largely catching up. It was, like I said in the video yesterday, it was my son's birthday today. So yeah, I was tweeting some jokes and stuff like that. But for the most part, I was baking his cake and helping my wife and taking photos and calling grandma. And, you know, it was like family day, right? So this is really, really exciting news. I appreciate you hanging out with me, reading all of the news that has come out. I'm sure there's more that I missed. There's going to be a lot to talk about, and it's really, really exciting stuff. What do you think about the merger? I would love to hear your comments below. I think it's really, really smart on Bungie's part because it means we're probably going to get a Destiny movie. We're going to get some good Destiny products in the future that are going to come out that are beyond the game. So maybe it's more about that. Anyway, let me know what you think. And if you aren't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when my videos go live. Thank you so much for doing that. If you want to become a member and support the channel further, memberships are turned on. Thank you so much to every one of the members who have said, hey, Destin, I want to support you. I do appreciate it. If you want to do that, hit that join button. I'm going to get out of here before I lose my voice. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll see you for the next one. What a crazy year, am I right? Bye for now.